If you then overblow that E, you can get a high A. Nuts. 2/4 in a row. Because altissimo. Oh my goodness, welcome back. We're here. We've kind of got a new look. I don't know if you can kind of notice the footage is a little different, a little, I don't know, nice. And I'm bringing you some double altissimo fingerings for only A and B flat. So you might be asking yourself, why would I even play this double altissimo? Well, there are a few pieces that have double altissimo in them. One that comes to mind is the Brandt Concerto, and you should definitely check out the re-release through Carl Fischer via Noah Getz and Liz Ames, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So here are some preliminary drills or requirements I would set for myself if I was trying to get these double altissimo notes. So the first thing to consider is, can I overblow my low pinky keys, my fundamental notes, and get these notes? So for a double altissimo A, I actually find it's nice to overblow a low C. You end up playing the 13th partial, which is an A flat, but it's an A flat that's 41 cents sharp, and somehow on my horn, when you play low C and you overblow it, and you get the 13th harmonic, it becomes a high A. So let's check that out. Next, if I was trying to get my first B flat, I would double check that I could get an overblown double altissimo B flat on my low B flat. And that would actually be the 16th harmonic in the harmonic series off of that low B flat. From there, I would check out my palm keys. There is yet another relationship with harmonics in the palm keys. We have been abusing our palm keys for the entire altissimo series. But, lo and behold, there is yet another partial above even double altissimo E, F, F sharp, and G sharp. We know that if you overblow a high D, which is just C1 in the octave key, you get a high B. If you then overblow that B, you get a high E. If you then overblow that E, you can get a high A. Nuts. 2/4 in a row. Because altissimo. Who knew? It would stand to reason that you could overblow an E flat, which would get you a C, which would then get you an F above that, and then you could overblow that F to get a B flat. I can't quite do that on my horn, so I'd like to put down C3 to kind of give myself a little bit more room and cheat my way up to my B flat. What we're doing with the palm keys is a lot like what violinists do via artificial harmonics. Hear me out. So in artificial harmonics on the violin, you purposefully shorten the string by putting your finger down, and then your second finger comes in, usually a fourth above that note, lightly touches the string, and then a harmonic pops out. But there's a couple of other things that violinists do to get the harmonics to speak. Namely, they tilt their bow, they play a little bit closer to the bridge, so it's like a little bit more scratchy, overtone rich sound. We shorten the string, which I mentioned. They lightly touch the string with their other free finger, and then they use a really fast bow speed. So you can take all those little tips, those 5 little tips, and apply them to saxophone. For me, at least. I know a lot of you studs and studettes can get double A's and double B flats with aplomb just using your regular embouchure. That's not me. So here's how I cheat my way to my double A and double B flat. My tilting the bow is I take a much thinner part of my lip, and so I kind of roll my lip out. I feel like I'm playing on like 1 or 2 cells of lip tissue right there between my teeth and the reed. Next, for my playing closer to the bridge, I just kind of choke up on the reed and find a different spot to resonate on. So if this is my regular embouchure, I tend to play up here. And then with that thin lip, you might guess that's a recipe for good old squeaks. Double altissimo. Not squeaks, double altissimo. Shortening the string, I kind of mentioned that. I shorten the string by taking less reed. Alternatively, you can think of the string as the tube of the saxophone. So by playing palm keys, you are in fact shortening our string, our vibrating tube. The last 2 are the ones I have the hardest time with. Lightly touching the string, okay? That's this relationship to our string, which is the reed. You can't press too hard, because if you press too hard, then you kind of lose the harmonic and you'll just end up playing lower partials. So you have to like fight that urge. Play on a thin part of your lip, but then don't accompany that with pressure. You got to kind of play loose and squeaky. And then lastly, you got to just blast air, and that would be our fast bow. So blow really fast air, blow it across the reed, and pray that you get your double altissimo. So the first fingering for double altissimo A is a fingering that I've already done. If you check out altissimo E and F part 2, you'll notice that we use this fingering for high E. And per our discussion, E and A are indeed a perfect fourth away. And we just saw that overblown palm keys in that E to A relationship, that's a perfect fourth. So here it comes. You ready? You want to finger C1, 1, 2, 5, and 6. This was previously a high E in E and F part 2, and this is now going to be your high A. So let's check that out. Next on our list are a couple of B flat fingerings that are close cousins to each other. You'll see what I mean. I mentioned how when I was overblowing my high E flat, I needed a little bit more room to get that B flat partial, so I put down not only C1 and C2, but I had added C3. So the fingerings for high B flat go C1, C2, 1, 2, 6, and E flat. I have no idea why 6 and E flat do anything, but they just do. So trust me, try it out. And the only addition I like to add to that B flat fingering is C1, C2, 1, 2, C3, 6, and E flat. So again, that C3 just gives me a little bit more room, a little bit more comfort when I'm playing my double altissimo B flat. So if we think about this relationship of the fourth, you can start doing your own research to figure out B and C fingerings. So if you look back in the series at double altissimo, F sharp, G, and A flat, you'll notice that all those fingerings are definitely candidates for an overblown, well, let me back up. If you use the F sharp and G fingerings, and possibly some of the A flat, G sharp fingerings for those double altissimo notes, those are all candidates to get your B and C, because obviously B and C are a fourth above F sharp and G. So check those out, start experimenting, get a gigantic mouthpiece and a super hard reed, and I think you'll be able to get your double B and double C. Go ahead and subscribe. Help a guy out. I'm going to come back with another video very soon about what I learned reporting to you guys around 150 altissimo fingerings. If you go back in the series, I'm not kidding. I did like 150-ish fingerings for you guys. And the lessons learned were bountiful, to say the least. Thanks for watching. See you very soon.